Welcome to the Ask Jordan podcast, answering your questions about selling on Amazon. Now, he's peeled off more prices than a family of shoplifters. From Long Island, New York, here's your host, Jordan Malik.
Hello, Amazon sellers. My name is Jordan Malik. I'm the host of the Ask Jordan podcast. Thank you so much for listening. This is our 87th episode. Welcome. Today's episode is sponsored by Online Arbitrage, a Seller Summary. That's the title of my latest Kindle ebook. It is the only Cliff Notes style interpretation of Chris Green's famous online arbitrage book. Now, if you've been hesitant about dropping up to $300 on online arbitrage, that book by Chris Green, well, my 99-cent summary will shed some light on the contents within online arbitrage. Many readers getting back to me saying, hey, Jordan, online arbitrage itself was so overwhelming. Your Cliff Notes helped me get the most out of that book. So I'm very thankful for that. Only purchasers of my 99-cent online arbitrage, a seller summary Kindle book can get a full 1-year money-back guarantee. That's out of my own pocket if they decide to buy the full $300 version of online arbitrage. Now, full details of that in my Kindle book. You don't need a Kindle device to read it. Just head on over to jordanmalik.com/green, all lowercase, jordanmalik.com/green, as in the color green. Again, online arbitrage, a seller summary is just 99 cents on the Kindle. You don't need a Kindle device to read it. This is the podcast where we only answer your questions about selling on Amazon. Now, every episode, we answer a different question from you, the listener, about selling on Amazon. If you head over to askjordan.net, askjordan.net. And if you want to hear your voice on an episode and get 7 of my best-selling ebooks 100% free, I want to tell you how you can win those books and how you can do that after we answer today's question. Today's question is from Roland. Go ahead, Roland.
Hi, Jordan. My name is Roland Though. Love the podcast. My question is this. Jordan, what is the best way outside of Amazon to market your product? I've been hearing a couple people talk about Pinterest and Instagram or using Facebook ads, so I find it a little bit confusing. So I'd like to find out, what is the best way outside to market, drive traffic to your Amazon product? Maybe if there's someone that you know of who's had success doing it, an ebook or another internet expert, that'd be great. All right, thanks, and keep up the good work.
Hey, Roland, thanks. I don't think I've had that question so far, so I appreciate the fact that you asked that. In general, the big answer for you generally, now I'm just talking about general, there's going to be a lot of exceptions to this. The general answer is that there is enough traffic within the Amazon ecosystem, meaning just the sheer volume of people that are visiting Amazon every day, where you don't need to have outside traffic sources. Now, there's going to be exceptions to all that. By the way, if you're hearing some construction noises in the background, I'm in Long Island, New York, and everything is very packed closely together. Somebody's getting their driveway redone. So apologies for that if you're hearing a lot of grinding noise and trucks in the background. So generally speaking, there's enough traffic within Amazon.com where you do not need to drive traffic to your listing. There's going to be exceptions to that rule, okay? So people who have private label products, they have a manufacturer make their own brand of toenail clippers. For instance, I'm just throwing that out there. They may look outside of Amazon to get traffic, but generally speaking, for the bulk of your sales, you need to use the tools within Amazon, and you need to leverage your own Amazon product listing to drive traffic to that or to get more sales. There is, and Roland, you'll forgive me because I don't know if you have existing products that are sitting in Amazon that you're just like they're from retail arbitrage that other people are selling as well, or if you've got your own private label product. If you're just piggybacking, which is 99% of my listings, right? 99% of my listings are just products I procure that there's already an Amazon listing for, whether it's used books, used CDs, toys, stationery, whatever. You are kind of at the mercy of the product listing itself to a degree. There's exceptions to that. So I'll give you an example. I had about a year ago, maybe a little less than a year ago, I had purchased about 25 Star Wars bobbleheads, the Chewbacca character from Disney store. And I think I got them. It's kind of neat. It's like 4 or 5 inches tall. It's got flocked fur on it. Looks like real fur. And it's got sounds. It has sounds like Chewbacca roaring and his, reciting his noises he makes in the movie. And I put it on. I was one of a handful of sellers, and I shipped them into Amazon, and it just sat there at a sales rank of 500,000 in toys, which is pretty abysmal. And, I guess buying 25 at $4 or $5 a piece, I paid $125. So yeah, I guess you could say that was kind of a considerable investment to have a product just sitting there. Now, I wanted to improve the listing itself because my gut feeling was it wasn't getting, when you typed in Chewbacca bobblehead, I don't even think it was appearing on the first page. Okay. So there's certain things you can do with a product that's already in the Amazon catalog. I used a tool that I'm not ready to endorse yet. I've been testing it. I use a tool called AMZ Tracker. The letter A, the letter M, the letter Z, as kind of an abbreviation for Amazon. Tracker, Tracker, I think it is. And again, I'm not endorsing this tool. If you go buy this, I don't get anything as of now, May 11th, because I haven't fully tested them. I'm not giving them my full endorsement yet. But that's a tool. It analyzes listings for you based on a keyword search. So you could open up the Amazon Tracker tool, and you could type in the word Chewbacca bobblehead, and it's going to give you the search. You can find the most common search terms for that. You can see, and I'm generalizing on this. I don't know all the intricacies of how it works, but you can take a look at the competing listings. Like you could say to yourself, okay, let me go to Amazon and let's type in Chewbacca bobblehead and see what's number 1, number 2, and number 3. And not only will the tool let you analyze what's making those products appear high on the search results, you can also analyze the products of your own or whomever that aren't doing so well. So Amazon looks at a number of things when they are ranking the results for a buyer's search. So when a buyer types in Chewbacca bobblehead, Amazon's going to list, the first 3, 4, 5 results or whatever, ranked according to a number of criteria. I think the number one top one that they do is sales. Sales trumps all. Amazon is naturally going to give search result preference to the product that's selling the most because the fact that it's selling so well is an indication the buyers like it and the buyers have an affinity towards that product. So naturally, Amazon's going to say, we want to make sure every buyer who's thinking about buying a Chewbacca bobblehead sees this product as number 1. But they also take into consideration other things like the item title. They take into consideration the pictures, the number of photos, right? They take into consideration the number of reviews, positive reviews, or reviews overall. They take into consideration the bullet points within the item description. So, and I'm just generalizing. Some Amazon product listing expert is going to say, Jordan, you forgot this, or I'm just saying in general, those are the things that Amazon is looking for. So using the AMZ Tracker tool, I had I'd analyzed the product that I bought quantity 25 of that was already on Amazon. And it said something to the effect of, okay, we recommend you change a few things. If you can add more photos. You add another bullet point, and the word bobblehead is not bobblehead spelled, bobblehead one word is not in the title. So what's interesting is I went to the Amazon product page itself, and down below it says, on most products will say near the bottom, it'll say, if you are a seller for this product and want to change product data, click here. You may have to sign in with your seller ID. They will actually, in many cases, I'm not sure if it's all cases, but in many cases, Amazon will let you submit suggestions to make the listing better. So I could have added more photos. That's one thing I didn't like about it. I think it has 1 photo, maybe 2 photos, and Amazon likes to have 5 photos. They like to have clear photos. So the photos that are on there aren't that clear, and it's only 2 of them. I didn't have other photos of the product because I didn't have it. I shipped it into the Amazon warehouse, so I couldn't fix that. I changed the title. The title of the product itself was not Star Wars Chewbacca bobblehead. It was a little more convoluted. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I asked them, I said, you should change the title to this. And I think I mentioned Star Wars Chewbacca bobblehead with a sound. And I spelled bobblehead in the more common way. And then I added another bullet point. I forget, Amazon prefers you have 5 bullets. The item had 4. So I added a 5th bullet. My 5th bullet said something like authentic Star Wars merchandise. What's interesting, this is the interesting part, is Amazon took my changes and implemented them immediately on the product listing. Okay. And the following day, the sales rank, it was either the same day or the following day, you typed in the word doing a search on Amazon, Star Wars Chewbacca bobblehead. My bobblehead that I was one of many sellers of came up like third. I think it was third in the listings that appeared. Before it wasn't appearing at all. You had to go to like the second page of results. Now it was number 3. And then second or third day later, somebody actually bought one. So the sales rank went from 500,000 to something like 30,000. It's been fluctuating between like 16,000 and 100,000. But at least I know, even though it's not I'm not the only seller, at least I know it's getting added exposure. So yes, one of the things that you should look at, Roland, is the product, whether it's your own private label product or if you're doing retail arbitrage and you happen to be selling the same product that other sellers are selling, take a look at the Amazon criteria. If you don't want to pay for a service like AMZ Tracker, Amazon somewhere have their own seller tips on how to ensure that your product has certain things to give it an optimized presence in the Amazon catalog. So first, make sure that you're adhering to that. And keep in mind that if you are one of other sellers, you're also going to be helping everybody else, all the other sellers, right? So the other people that are selling the Chewbacca bobblehead, the other sellers are going to get that added exposure because of me. Okay. That's one thing you should look at. The other thing, and this really is only going to apply if you've got a large quantity of something, because you have to kind of gauge. I wouldn't be doing any optimization for products you have like quantity 1 of, unless it's like a very expensive product. You want to consider driving traffic to it or optimizing the product listing if you've got, dozens or hundreds of something where you're making at least a $10 profit per item, because then you're just kind of wasting your time. You might as well return the items that you bought or have Amazon return them to you, or get them back and sell them on eBay, or do something if they're slow selling. Another solution is to run pay-per-click ads. Okay, Amazon offers pay-per-click ads for your product. So say if you had Roland's toenail clippers, you could run pay-per-click ads for that product. So your product on Amazon would appear as a sponsored result. I'm not sure if I'm using the right terminology, but you would be able to get added exposure for your product. And again, this works ideal only if you're the only seller of the product, or if you have the buy box often. If you're a seller who has that item frequently in the buy box because you're lowest priced or your seller rankings are high, etc. Amazon has a pay-per-click program where you can actually drive. You have to pay for it per click. That's why they call it pay-per-click, to drive more people to click on your listings if you're not getting the exposure you think you need. So if somebody types in toenail clippers and they're not seeing your toenail clippers as one of the top organic results, and Amazon's naturally listing the results according to their algorithms and according to their criteria, there is a section somewhere on each page where there's, it's called sponsored listings, where people bought this product. People are looking for this product, and they would also consider the other one. And it's like a paid advertisement. Again, I'm not the expert on that, but I want to give you some links for the program. And I'm an affiliate of this program, but it works pretty well. A program to understand and use the pay-per-click advertising. Again, this is really only ideal for you if you're a private label seller, meaning you have your own product on Amazon that nobody else is selling. Meaning it's your branded product. It's your own product listing on the Amazon catalog. Head over to jordanmalik.com/PPC. That's PPC as in pay-per-click. And that's, of course, a very inexpensive one that's run by Online Empire Academy, who kind of are masters in that space. Okay. Or if you don't want to do that, I'm sure Amazon's own pay-per-click program has their own tutorials. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about Pinterest. You mentioned Pinterest. I've been hearing more about Pinterest being an ideal way to drive traffic to your listing. Now, even if you don't own the entire listing on Amazon, meaning if you're competing with other sellers, you could, and I'm not an expert in this, but you can use Pinterest to say put a picture of the product as long as you pin it correctly. And I don't know how that's done. But if you post a photo of your product on Pinterest and then make the link go to your item on Amazon, and there's a way for you to get that link, so it'll be very difficult for somebody to buy somebody else's item who's selling the same exact product, right? So if you take a look at your item that's live on Amazon right now that has other sellers, and you go find the item, you do a search for it, and you see the item on Amazon, you scroll down where it says buy now from these sellers, and they have your name next to it, right next to the condition notes and all that. They have the, Roland's toenail clippers and then, the store name. When you click on that store name, which is your store name, you'll be brought to your quote unquote storefront on Amazon. And what's interesting is that when you're on your storefront and you're looking at all your products that you have on sale for Amazon, I think they're going to show you both the inactive and active ones. Click on one of the active products that are sitting in the Amazon warehouses or whether you're fulfilling it from home. And when that page comes up, it'll just be your listing. It'll just be you'll appear as like the only seller because it's you're getting to that product through your own store link. And that link that's up above in your browser, you could use that when you're marketing your products on Pinterest. That'll kind of make it very difficult for the person who clicks on the Pinterest photo to find the product sold by a different seller other than you. So I'm going to run through that again. And again, I'm not a Pinterest expert. I'm going to give you a couple links to find some expertise on Pinterest marketing for your Amazon listing. But here is that again. To get a link that's exclusively your product that makes it difficult for somebody to buy the product from another seller, click on your store name for when you're looking at the product itself on Amazon. You're one of other sellers and it says sold by Roland Store. Click on that link to Roland Store. It'll bring you to the Roland Store storefront where all your products are listed there. Okay. Find an item that's active that that you have in stock. Click on it. It'll bring up that page for that product for sale and it'll say sold by Roland Store. It won't say sold by, this other sold by Amazon or whatever. That dissuades, that link makes it look like you're the only seller, even though you're not. And that link above, copy that link. If you start doing Pinterest marketing, use that specific link. When you're putting a picture on Pinterest and people click through it, they're the first seller that they're seeing is you. Okay. I'm not saying that Pinterest is an effective way for any seller to sell a product. I certainly do think it's an excellent way to sell a product if you got a large volume of something that's kind of unique. An expert I saw a webinar from sells bicycles on eBay. And there are bicycle aficionados who are looking for a certain type of bike. Well, his sales shot up on eBay when he started posting pictures of those bikes on Pinterest. I think Pinterest might work well for niche products or products that serve a very niche need, or products that are very visual in their presentation. A bicycle is very visual in its presentation. Is Pinterest an ideal marketing platform if you're selling hand cream? Probably not, because what's so alluring about a packaging of a hand cream, right? But if you're selling niche products or products that have a visual impact, whether it's an action figure or a stuffed animal or a bicycle or a painting or a statue or clothes, right? Something that requires the buyer to really see it visually to be able to have an affinity towards that, to be able to purchase it, then yes, I think Pinterest is definitely worth testing. If you're interested in Pinterest and using that for a marketing tool for your listings, whether you're an Amazon or eBay seller, head over to Udemy. I don't like the way I call it Udemy, but I don't think it's pronounced that way. It's Udemy, Udemy. U as in uncle, D as in dog, E as in elephant, M as in motorcycle, Y as in yak. That is a site that offers online courses covering anything from being a manicurist to selling products online to mowing your lawn. Really, they offer courses on everything. And it looks like a couple reputable folks there offering classes on Pinterest. Whenever you buy an instructional course on Pinterest or any other marketing, make sure that you're buying something that has a large number of feedback. I think there's a couple courses on Udemy for Pinterest, and one of the persons offering the course has 59 positive customer feedbacks. And with Udemy, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee on any course you buy. So that if you want to wrap your head around Pinterest, I think that's the way to go, is to find a reputable. Now, don't buy something from somebody who's got no money back guarantee for Pinterest training or any type of training. Make sure there's a 30-day money back guarantee, and there's a lot of they have social proof. There's a lot of positive feedback out there about that provider to that course before you buy something. And Roland, another thing, again, this is really only going to help you if it's your own product that you're selling on Amazon. Head over to the podcast website and Facebook group for The Amazing Seller. 3 words together, theamazingseller.com is a guy who gives away a lot of free information on marketing and testing and finding the right product to sell on Amazon to call your own, a private label, meaning Roland's toenail clippers versus Clairol. Toenail clippers is a bad example. I'm just throwing that out there. So make sure you check out that blog, and they have a free Facebook group, a lot of free information on marketing your own products. And Roland, one thing that you want to think about before you continue is that do you have the right product in the first place? If you have quantity 10, 20, 50, 100 of something and it's just sitting there in the Amazon warehouse, you might have the wrong product overall, right? So I had somebody come to me about a year ago and they said, Jordan, we're selling this product on Amazon and it's her own, and we've got quantity 1,000 and they're not selling. And I said, what is it? And they said, it's a bottle opener. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, that's the first problem, because there's not a bottle opener out there that is going to be markedly different in function or form or sex appeal than another 1,000, right? If you're going to buy a bottle opener on Amazon, you can pay $2.49 or you can pay $22.49, and they're both kind of going to serve the same function, and they're probably going to both last as long. And to the end buyer, there's not much of a difference there except price. So you think about that is that make sure that if you're going to be selling a product that you've done your research. Use my blog, jordanmalik.com/blog. Look for a free webinar online from the Startup Bros. Go to youtube.com and look for Importing Webinar by the Startup Bros, BROS, where it's a free 3+ hour webinar on how to research products to figure out what's hot. So just make sure that before you're doing any of this, Roland, that, before you spend all this energy, that there's actually a market demand for the product, because you can drive traffic all you want. If nobody wants to buy your product, like this gentleman's bottle opener, then you really got to, you got to cut your losses and rethink the way that you approach the marketplace. Okay. And I'm only telling you that from my own failures too, because I've said, oh, I know people are going to want to buy this, and I bought quantity 50 or 100 and it fell flat on its face. So, Roland, thank you for that question. I really do appreciate that. And Roland gets all 7 of my ebooks about selling on Amazon and eBay just for submitting his question and me choosing it and airing it here. So, Roland, just head over to askjordan.net, click on the small envelope icon in the upper right-hand corner. Send me an email so I know where to send your ebooks to. If you, the listener, want to submit a question to the podcast and have a chance to win all my best-selling ebooks like Roland, call 516-619 online. It's 516-619-6654. Or go to askjordan.net and scroll down, look for the directions on submitting your question. Hey, thanks again for listening. This has been the Ask Jordan podcast. I'll see you again in our next episode.